Hi guys, thanks again for joining me. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm Anne, and in this video I'm going to be giving a general love reading focusing on divine love partners. That includes soulmates, twin flames, karmic connections, and all love relationships that you're involved in. So I hope you can stay and watch. Okay, so now that we're definitely in that fall season, autumn is really like starting to kick in. I can feel it. Leaves are still slowly starting to change, a little bit. It's kind of slow right now. I think we have a slow season, but that's okay. I love November too, watching the colors of the foliage. I hope you guys can get out there and enjoy it too. It's one of my favorite times because it's not just because my birthday is in October, but it's because of the changes that's happening, and it does a lot to us as we start to wind down. Yeah, we start to go into like a slower kind of like, I'm not going to say hibernation mode, but yeah, it's like we're getting ready. We're getting ready for something great to happen. And many of you who are in spring on another side of the world, you're experiencing it in a similar way, but totally opposite. Yeah. So, getting ready. And that part sometimes can take you out of your comfort zone, really, because you're comfortable where you're at. You're comfortable kind of like winding down, or you're comfortable staying wind down, I should say, or comfortable being uplifted in a summer mode. It's time to just slow it up and just like embrace all the seasons, because that's basically what it's all about. We can't just do one and forget about the other, because it's how we grow and we evolve spiritually and how we ignite our soul centers. Okay, so the first card that came up, surrender to the divine masculine, and you hear my famous little bird in the background. He's making a racket back there. So surrender to divine, and I know that it's a little reversed, but it is the beautiful full moon, and I love full moons. This has been a very difficult and challenging time for many of us, including myself, that we've been transitioning into a new beginning. Something new is about to take place, but it can't happen, guys, if you don't surrender. Divine masculine especially. It's affecting divine masculine. Divine masculines out there are letting go. And your situation may be feeling like, I know I'm surrendering, but what else do I need to surrender? Well, it's not about what you can think of. It's just about letting go. It's about like releasing. It's kind of like kicking your hands up and saying, I surrender, I let it go. I'm releasing to the universe, to God, everything that I have that needs to be fixed. Because we are not perfect, let's face it. We all are struggling in some type of way in these bodies, because that's basically what life is. It's like we have to look on the positive side. We can't forget negative. We have to look at negative because it happens for a specific reason, and we have to do what we have to do in order to, and there's a dragonfly flying around me. Woo, that was beautiful. So we have to like look at what it is in our lives to take over and to amplify that, because once we amplify that, then we can evolve and we upgrade our soul center, our spirit. We can move forward. Next card is actually very similar. I love when they come up so similar. I love this deck. Release. What is it that you need to release? Ask yourself that. Ponder it. Release. I'm going to meditate over this, because I'm always feeling like there's something I need to release. If there's like an ounce of energy there that I'm holding on to that maybe I shouldn't, because like I said, we are not perfect. And that's why I give out a lot of examples, because I'm forever like 24/7 working on myself, because it's not easy with the day-to-day life that we go through sometimes. When you release it, you understand it. And you're like, that's what happened to me. That's why I couldn't do it. When you're holding on to so much anger or hurt or resentment, this is when your life can actually get to the point where you're holding on to it. Yeah. I've done it many times. I'm sure you have done it. And, you've just done all this work previously. You went through all of that. And sometimes self-pity can come through. And divine masculine can get that way. And they run from it. They want to hide. They just want to like escape. It's like, where do I go? It's all about what you need to do for yourself, because it all boils down to one thing. It's there for a reason and a purpose. that eruption inside of you that's going on is not there just so that you can, go through it and crumble your life. No, learn from it, understand by surrendering it. When you surrender it, you understand it better. Communication is the key. New moon in Gemini. Okay, I can relate to this card very well because my moon is in Gemini, and I have to say that communication is the key for divine masculines right now. If you're holding on to something and you're not getting your point across, this is when you need to start talking to your partner, to the person that you're involved in, or the person that you want to be involved in. Maybe it's something that you're not really expressing. I mean, I'm not saying to pour your heart out, obviously, if that's what you want to do, yes, of course, but I'm not here to tell you what to do either. Remember, these are all messages coming from the divine through me to give to you. When you communicate that feeling that's been kind of pushing you and saying, I need to talk to this person, and whoever it could be. I'm not saying that it's definitely this person that you're involved in, but communication is the root of getting to the heart of the matter. And it's maybe something that is hindering your growth to getting past whatever you're going through. All that stuff that's rolled up into a ball that's like right here, behind your neck. I know that's where it seems like everybody likes to hold on to stuff like this, and it's it's killing my back. I can't hold on to it no longer. Time to release it. Release it. Let it go. And say, I'm done. Not done with a specific person or a situation, but I'm done holding on to this anger. Sometimes it's anger that you had X amount of years ago or months ago, and you're still carrying it on. And I'm not saying that it's time to just forget about it, but how about let's try to find happiness in our hearts? And a lot of people say to me, I'm going to tell you the truth. When I put out a lot of this energy out to people, I always somehow get somebody saying, well, what's so happy about my life, and what's so great about my life, and what's so, I can't make you feel better. I'm not God. I'm only here to just be a light, and you're the one that has to heal from it. Maybe that's something you need to do. Communicate, vent out, find somebody that you just need to communicate with. Maybe it's venting. Venting is a good thing too. Maybe there's someone you need to talk to, and you need to just have a conversation with that person and confide everything that you're feeling, because that helps too. Seriously, hearing yourself talk and letting that person hear you, and it could be a family member, friend, but trust. The egg moon. Trust what your heart is telling you, and let it go. What are you holding on to? Is it a past memory that just won't allow you to go past it? Maybe something that somebody said that triggers you all the time. You'll never know until you work on what it is, whatever that may be. Divine masculine, this is relationship energies, that when a divine masculine is trying to say something, they seem to just say it. But lately, it seems like they're holding back that feeling that they can communicate, because they're holding on to something previously. I can't tell you what to do with it, and like I said, I'm only here to just try to help you to make that decision, whatever you need to do. Maybe there is a decision. When there's a decision that needs to be made, oh boy, yeah, we can go back and forth with it, and not be our authentic self, and kind of cover it up, and maybe forget. I was supposed to talk to that person about what was going on in my life, and I didn't. You lost it. You forgot about it, and you put it under the rug, and guess what? Years can go by. You didn't release it. So think about this for a second. Now we're coming into a later part of the year. A lot of shifts are happening still. It's still active. Things are activated constantly, flowing through. It's time to work on it for your highest good. Lift it up in a higher level, higher way. And I apologize if you hear the kids playing. It's still a little warm out. Kids are loving it outside. I wish I was a kid sometimes. I want to go play outside. No, just kidding. No, maybe not. Okay. Be bold and make the first move. Cardinal moon, divine feminine. Now, what could that be? I know a lot of you are saying, wow, what move do I have to make? You know the move you have to make. You have to first find it. You have to first understand it. You have to first release it, like what I just talked about, surrendering to the divine. Be bold, make the first move. Be assertive. Say what you mean and not hold it back, because I know a lot of people, are kind of like, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to offend that person. You're offending yourself because you're not saying it. Seriously. I know sometimes when we want to say things, we kind of like express a little anger into it. And I know I get very, very direct sometimes when I talk to people, because not because I'm angry, but it's just I get very like emotional, and that's just me. That's just my nature. I express a lot of my emotional energy. In a good way though. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's not like I'm getting upset. It's just that sometimes tough love, sometimes you have to be that way because people don't hear you. When you're expressing it with love, I don't mean to be passive and just let things slide, but really be direct and express that part of you. It's surrender. It's surrender. Divine feminines are going through exactly what divine masculines know, and what they mean and what they feel. Beautiful card. I love it. I love all these cards. When I look into these cards, I get messages, and so I continue to look at them. This is the Waning Crescent 3. When you're on something, when you feel something and you know something, people sometimes try to influence or try to direct you. It's human nature, and if your relationship right now is not where you want it to be, it's time to just have maybe a sit down. Communication is the key, like I said. Divine masculine wants to come out and talk. Maybe they can't talk. Maybe that is your divine masculine. Maybe that's your other half that needs to talk, but they don't know how to talk because you need to make the first move. You need to be the one. You need to be the one, or vice versa. It's kind of like communication is the key. Letting that person surrender. Maybe you need to listen to what they need to say, because you're not getting it, because the two of you are not where you need to be at. Sometimes it's just not happening. Maybe the relationship is not even going anywhere. It just feels like it's at a standstill. Time to do something about it. We want to go into new beginnings and changes, but we'll never get there until we make that change first. And when I say change first, I mean not leave the relationship, but like change for yourself. When you do things for yourself, you automatically reflect a mirror for others to see. And you know what? It's kind of like, did you ever hear when you express light, like light follows you? It's like positive energy. When you see somebody having a bad day and somebody just keeps, bickering and saying all this negative stuff, I mean, you'll listen to it, and maybe you might hear and say, oh, that poor person, or that person is going through so much. You're actually accumulating it, and you don't realize it. Yeah. You need to just find what it is that you're hearing about yourself, because there's something inside of you. I'm not saying don't listen to that person, but it's time to surrender. And I'm not saying to both of you go together and have Starbucks and have a pity party and surrender all your negativities. But it's more of like listening to yourself. It starts from within. It starts from yourself first, because that's the only way you're going to get better. That's the only way you're going to find a healing source to release you out of that. It's not a bad thing, but it's not really a good thing either to hold back. It's good to just let it go. If there's a relationship that you're involved in and you're waiting, and like that person just is not coming through the way they should, you have to think about it. And I'm not telling you to forget about them, but I'm telling you about thinking about yourself first before you think about them. You'll be surprised, just saying, how when you start to put yourself first and you start to say, you know what, I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to keep on being the one to text and call and put that effort out there. I'm just going to focus on me. And I'm not saying to go tell them all of this, or, like let everybody know that you're moving on. but just focus on you. Just take a deep breath, meditate, relax, and do something fun for yourself, especially now the fall time is like really, really a lot of fun. Spring too. You'll be surprised on how that person can come around very easily. I see this all the time, seriously. When the minute you start doing the things that I'm talking about, surrendering, letting go, finding, inner truth inside of you, what you need, valuing yourself, valuing, I don't know why I'm losing my words. When you value yourself and you value who you are, it's a reflection. Remember, reflection, a big mirror, like saying, look at yourself. Look what you're doing to yourself. Because remember, I told you guys before, and you guys know this too. I don't have to repeat it, but I will. We are so connected in so many ways. That's why we can relate to messages in reading videos so well. Or we can tune in to what others are feeling. Not everybody is the same. Remember, this reading video may resonate with you 1 week, and maybe in 2 weeks it might resonate with you, or resonate now and not resonate later. Whenever you see it, it's something that's a message, because the soul is definitely connected. It's kind of like we're all just connected like this, like our hands. You see my hand here? It's connected to your hand and their hand and her hand and his hand, all over the world, like a relative. But though we're not related, or we might be, it's just blood. That's just physical that makes us related, but we're all the same when it comes to being soul centers joined in. It's from the same source, and that's why it's like we just can relate to everything, and that's why like human bodies are so connected. So I'm not here to talk about science and that kind of stuff, not to bore anybody, but I'm just like making a point that you are good enough. You really, really, really are. You're not halfway. You are so good enough. Full moon in Virgo. And the full moon in Virgo is a good astrological sign, and a moon in Virgo, because you're very, very discreet, you're very organized. But there's some insecurities. Like, I look at the cards, what they represent too, in a sense, but also look at the moon in Virgo. I felt that was a message. Maybe your moon is in Virgo. Maybe you know someone in Virgo. Maybe you are a Virgo. The Virgo inside of you is holding on. Now, it's a card for everybody. Remember, it's for the collective. It's not just, oh, my moon is not in Virgo, so it's not for me. No. It represents the card. Okay? So, your energy right now, divine feminines, need to understand you're good enough. Your soul center is good enough. Your spirit is good enough. Your physical body is good enough. Don't ever let anybody tell you different. We have so many people who, like, I'm just making an example. I do it on myself because I'm the only one here. I go on social media, I post, I'm doing everything. Yeah. Sometimes I have not a stitch of makeup. I'll go at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning and I'll post, a video. I don't even care how I look. I'm like, I gotta get this message out, or I gotta do something. Like, many of you saw my previous videos on Instagram and Facebook. But my point is that some people might not, I don't care either, that they might say, oh, why doesn't she put makeup on, or why didn't she fix herself? How could she do that? That's just me. You know what? And I love myself. And some people will say, more power to her. It's good for her. Because that's how you have to be. You have to just do it. Just do it. Do what you need to do, not looking at what others think of you, because they're going to think all kinds of things. I'm going to tell you, the more you're loved, the more there's haters out there. And I don't like the word haters, because nobody actually hates. Sometimes it's out of hurt because they want and they don't know how. I've had a lot of people in my life, and I'm sure you did too, that you thought that they hated you, or you thought that they were so jealous of you, but they did not think they were good enough. Okay, they put a protective mechanism, that a shield. I'm better, I'm good, why is she like that, or why is he like that? That's ego. And I work with a lot of people who have these issues, that they actually break that down and they're actually a total opposite. And they're insecure. That's basically why I'm saying you are good enough. And I'm not talking about you or, someone you know, but I'm just saying in general, never look at that person when they're harsh. Not that I'm saying you should, be friends with everybody, but it's just a point I'm making, because you are good enough, and other people might try to tell you different because they feel about themselves they're not good enough, because they're not really looking at themselves thinking they're good enough. So they like to look at you and say, you're not good enough, or you should be doing this. Why are you doing that? Or maybe you wear too much this, or maybe you should wear some of this. It's irrelevant, really, because it's just, it's like my flowers in the back. It's decoration. I love decoration. I love pretty things. I like, makeup, yeah. And I don't like makeup. I wear mostly no makeup because I just like to be natural. That's just who I am. But then I do have times where I just wear makeup every day. It's me. I don't know. It's my mood. It's how I lift my vibration. Maybe in the wintertime I might wear a little more because it's cooler. Summertime, it's too hot. So, you know what? I'm not talking about myself. I want to just let you guys know that you are good enough. You can't look at what others think of you. And I did make a video about this because I had a lot of people asking me questions and, posting stuff about what I said. And, I just want to let you guys know that you are good enough. Set boundaries. And that's the boundaries that you have to set. I am good enough. I am loved. I am beautiful. Every day. Say that. And you know what? You're going to get more closer to your dreams, to your goals than you realize. Maybe your goal is, I want that ultimate relationship, that person that completes me, to come into my life. Maybe that person is in your life, but you're not looking at them because you don't look at yourself. I see this too a lot. And then you're not awakened. Maybe you're not completely awakened because you're holding on to stuff that they said, that they did. Nobody is perfect. You guys know that. And maybe they need to talk. Maybe they need to express themselves. You'll be surprised on how the best relationships go through so much turmoil, so much negativity before they find true happiness. If they don't, or if they don't have a little bit of a rocky motion, then it's not a true relationship. It's never going to be a picture-perfect relationship with anyone. I don't care who it is. It's because we are human, and sometimes we get caught up with stuff and we accumulate, and I don't like to hold on to stuff, so I'm always releasing as much as possible because I want to feel free. And set those boundaries. Set those boundaries. You know what? Good idea, guys, to get yourself a new journal. We're coming into fall. We're actually into fall, but we're coming into a later part, or spring. We're coming into a later part of the year, that 2020, and you know what? Maybe I shouldn't say, oh no, we can't talk about it. I'm excited. 2020 is going to be amazing, and I'm looking forward to it. Really, really looking forward to it. And you know what? I'm going to start planning. I'm going to get myself together. I haven't been journaling and writing down as much as I normally am, and I've seen a big difference. I don't know if you guys see it for yourselves, but I know for me, it's kind of like, I'm lost. Wait a minute, I was supposed to do that. And you kind of feel scattered. And I'm not saying to go everywhere you're going and take it with you, but on your phone, you have notepads, you have apps, you have a lot of reminders, you have calendars, guys. You can find a way to journal it, seriously. And, putting it on a piece of paper, I like, because I like to read it. I like to actually read, not just hold on to a smartphone 24/7. Yeah, I know, I'm guilty too. I got 3 phones, and I love my 3 phones. Well, 4, but I don't really use the other ones. So yeah, they're all serving different purposes, and that's what you need to do. You need to do what is best for you. So very, very powerful stuff here. I got a lot of messages coming through. I felt them, and I felt a lot of them were pertaining to what I needed to hear. And thank the universe, thank God for everything, because these messages needed to come through. Take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. If you would like to get your own personalized reading, I do offer phone chat and email readings, and I'm available all the time, even on the weekends. Just my hours vary because I'm always doing something, I have a life. But I will always try to fit you in first come, first serve, just letting you guys know. So I'm always here. I'm always here. Even when I leave, that's what we have smartphones for. God willing, I will be continuously here. And, I want to do more because everything we do it for, our highest good. And that's the main, the main goal in life, right? So I just want to say thank you guys for, still all the beautiful, kind words about what happened recently to Bear, Mr. Bear. He's on the Rainbow Bridge. He's out on the other side of the Rainbow Bridge having fun with all of his other furry pups. And your furry pups, if you've lost any, he's with them and they're all together in doggy heaven. I love that. I really do. But anyways, just want to thank you guys because it's not easy. We're still adjusting. And our babies, our furry babies, is what keeps us strong. The ones we have this daughter and the mom. And I also have Chubbs, which my mother watches, the son. And I'm going to start posting him because poor guy, he told me the other day he wants to be in the limelight. My daughter, if you know her, Paulina, she posts a lot on her social media of him. So I need to post more of him. It's like our furry babies keep us going, right? Okay, so until next time, God be with you all. God bless you. Namaste.